Sweet, bro. Dude, thank you so much for doing this.
Of course, man. Of course.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Um, dude, you gotta be the only artist I've ever heard of that's out there calling all of his fans on Patreon. So
Man,
tell
I
me
feel the
about
same
that.
way. I feel the same way. I don't know one of my contemporaries that would do this. And yes, that is a pat on the back.
Yeah.
I am definitely willing to go the extra mile because it's kind of, I mean, you and I talked about it. It's kind of my business model is, if you want to put it that way. It seems even kind of square when you say it that way, but to connect to people directly and turn casual supporters into family members, that's, to me, in this day and age, with the type of artist that I am, it makes the most sense. So obviously it takes a lot of energy. It's like, imagine being a host or something, like you own a bar and you're talking to every single person patron that comes in, and it takes a lot of energy, whether you're in person or on the phone. But I don't mind spending that energy because it's yielding amazing results so far. And it's not just a one-way street here. It's not like, I'm doing this, I get something out of it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, besides being willing to just open up and talk to everyone that's on this phone, like, we're sharing back and forth. I have no, like, I think I told you, I have no issue being vulnerable and open with a stranger on the bus, man. It really doesn't, I'm not like a super private person in that way. I'm willing to express it to everybody. And I think maybe, thinking about it, that is a direct result of my dad being the opposite. Like, he
Mhm.
was a shut down, swallow it all, never say shit, freaking uh guy with his emotions and his traumas. He doesn't talk to about anything. I remember there is a there is in my baby book. My mom gave me my baby book a couple years ago, and in the, I don't know, I was 3 years old or something. It said Eli said something so funny today to his dad. He was on the couch with his dad, and he said, "Dad, why don't you talk? You have a why don't you?" I said something like, "You have teeth, why don't you talk?" Something like that. And it seemed funny, but to me it was not funny at all. I'm like, "Oh yeah, my dad would be sitting right next to me and just be checked out."
Mhm.
And that's his MO, he'd check out, nothing against Pops, but I sort of went the complete opposite direction, which is interesting for an introvert, you know what I mean? I'm sort
Mhm.
of, that's what's interesting about my whole career. Like, I ended up on stage performing, and it was the opposite of what I was really internally feeling. Like, not good enough, not worthy. Don't look at me. I'm like super mega shy back then. You see me on stage with the legends back in the day. I had my hood pulled over my head. I had my hands sucked into my sleeves. I was just back there like this. And then eventually, coming out of my shell little by little, getting clean, obviously was a big part of it. Started to realize who I was and what I had to offer on stage. And then, really, without the drugs and alcohol there, I was directly connecting to the people. That's where it really began. Doing
Mhm.
shows clean for the first time and really looking in people's eyes and like feeling the energy of the room and the people. That's where I realized, like, oh, there's something here. There's a high to be had off of human connection, right?
Mhm.
And the energetic passing from me performing and the crowd pulling it in, and it just goes around and around, showing love and showing love and showing love back and forth. So I think, I don't know why I went down that path, but that's kind of like why I am, at this point in this stage of my career, why getting on the phone and calling 1,000 people is not crazy to me. I mean, it's just the next level of
Mhm. Sure.
connection from that moment of being clean on stage and realizing, whoa, this is something, to, and not, never experiencing that, always being high, drunk, always having a veil over my face because I remember feeling sometimes I'd be on stage back in the day and somebody would be looking at me. I'd be like, I literally, don't look at me. Like, don't look at me. Like, what do you mean don't look at you? You're on
Yeah.
stage, fucking guy.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Wow.
So yeah, so it's taken a lot of work to even get to this point. And I am I am 100% willing to go door to door with each individual and chop it up and get to know you because, and so far, Josh, like, it's been like this amazing feeling of gratitude coming from each person. And I feel the same way though. I'm like, man, some of these people are people that have been supporting since day one, dude. Like 30 years of support, 25
Yeah.
years, 20. Um, and I should know them. I should know about their life a little bit. To me, it's like this is, I forgot who said this saying, but I don't know if it was in a movie or something, but it's if it's personal if you're a person, right? When some people say, don't take it personal. Well, everything's personal when you're a person and you're dealing with people. And some people just want the gap, they want you at an arm's length, or their persona with the music is different from who they actually are, and they're trying to guard you from that, right?
Sure.
But I
Yeah.
have been always been the opposite of that as well. I've always written, I have no other way to write than to be just me, you know, genuinely in everything I do. So yeah, man, it's been an honor and a privilege so far.
Well, I love that. Yeah, personally, as a huge hip hop fan, I think that to this day, my favorite artists are the ones that took time to connect, even just a little bit. Like I'm not
Hmm.
expecting to trade phone numbers or to go mountain biking or you know what I mean, but like just little things like just talking about jazz,
Right.
going to record stores, talking about music, like little things like
Mhm.
that outside of the realm of hip hop. Like I think that's a huge deal. So
Yeah, I
uh,
hear you, man. I
one thing I
definitely
was going
feel
to ask
that.
you about at the end, but I think now's a good time to segue into it, is Patreon, because I'm kind of an old guy and I don't really know what Patreon is. I did join and I was just listening to your music. How does
Yep.
Patreon benefit you? What does it do for artists? What does it do for you?
Man, they came along, I don't know if it was 9 or 10 years ago, but I joined 8 years ago, and it was made known to me that I was one of the early adapters, right? And I just saw it as an opportunity, once again, to directly connect to the people who support me the most, service the people that value what I do enough to so where I am when I offer a song that is only for you, like exclusivity within art,
Mm,
um, when I offer that kind of stuff, it means a lot to these people. They're like, "Oh man, I get stuff that no one else gets. That's your creation. That's awesome." I get to interact with you on a more personal level. That's awesome. I share things on Patreon all the time that are way more personal than I would put on Instagram.
okay.
Um, very so that was already an extension or the beginning of something like a phone call. This has been going on because my underlying mission, without really knowing it till recently, is that I was trying to develop and build a community, right? And having experience during 2021 in the NFT space in Web3 and seeing this explosion of community starting to pop and realizing this is fucking awesome. Like
Mm,
I already know I love collaboration and working with other people on stuff to lift all boats together. Um, but now I'm realizing that community is everything, and that if you can build a solid community of people that are just never going to leave
mhm,
because of many reasons, you got something special and you got something sustainable there. So Patreon, they offered everything in one, from being able to live stream directly from the app to just all the services, the delivery method of how to get people the exclusive songs and podcasts and etc. It's all there in the app, so they made it really easy. Um, and they take for me, I was an early adopter, so they take, I don't know, it's something like 3% of
mhm.
every time I cash out or whatever. And people have been paying, I've been paying my rent off Patreon. I've at
Wow.
heights, it was paying bills, rent, taking care of the family through Patreon.
Mm,
And it's just not a better feeling. Now it's gone. You have to be vigilant. You have to the more you put in, the more you get out. So
mhm,
I really made an effort to say in 2026, I'm diving way back in because I have two young kids and having my first child. It really kind of pulled me away from being involved in Patreon as much as I wanted to. I was doing the bare minimum, but people still stayed. The
mhm,
hardcore people stayed. A lot of people left. Some people leave even though they are hardcore, and they come back, and it's just like an ever evolving door, right? Um, but so I've had heights during like COVID. It was like at its highest, which makes sense because everybody had stimulus checks. They want to support, and it was dope. It was great. But then you had kids, and then it kind of dips because you have to constantly be on it, talking about it to get new people in. And now you can be there for $0, which is cool. Because some
Mhm.
people, I just tell people, I just want you there. Like, just join. Maybe you'll see something that's behind the paywall of $5 or whatever that you want, but at least you'll be there already. And you say, I want that. And you sign up
Right.
for 5 because you can afford it for a month or two and support me that way. And then you can drop back to 0. So it's really like flexible, cool way to support people directly. And that's not, there it is. That's the main thing. Knowing your money that you're spending is going directly to the person you want it to go to.
Sure.
That's pretty awesome. Rather than going through Spotify, which which everyone knows by now,
Yeah.
gets completely thrashed and turned into fractions of cents,
Mhm.
and it's not kind to the artist. So yeah, Patreon's awesome, man.
Sweet. So not only are you like a musical living legend now, but you're also like an amazing visual artist for those of the for the fans that don't know.
Thanks,
I
man.
fell in love with your art right away, like reminded me of like that the Caterpillar book, like the children's book.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
so, and not to diminish it, like it's for children's books, but it's so beautiful. Like it,
yeah.
it's just
Thanks.
stimulating. Trying to sell your visual art to your musical fans, has that been successful, or are you also starting another community of people that just appreciate art, visual art?
Man, well, the second one you just said, that's a dream for me to have people who come to me for art and have no idea I'm a musician.
Sure.
That would be the ultimate it would be the ultimate compliment. But
Mhm.
of course, like the way I started, um, creating this branch of this tree that pulls in income via my art was hitting people who are fans of the music. Of course, I'm gonna hit them up first, like, and it started off as a question mark, like, "Hey guys, would you be interested in me, drawing art for tattoos for you guys?" Oh,
Mhm.
hell yeah! It started that way. So I was like drawing pieces for people to get tattooed, and
Yeah.
then it turned into full pieces and then bigger ones and then wall sign framed wall pieces that are 18 by 24 and bigger, which take a lot of time and energy. And so that's what it's turned into. And most people still know who I am. They get to my art through my music.
Mhm.
So like it'll be fans of my music for 20 plus years. And so a piece of art for me means a lot to them. And as with anything, I really wasn't drawing often at all up until I started doing these tattoo designs for people. We'll say 2012 or something, 2013. And I've been drawing so much since then. I've gotten better, dude. Like I literally have gotten a lot better than if you see some of the first drawings I did as commissions, compare them to what I'm doing now. I'm like, oh my God, I got better, like way better. That's
Yeah.
so so that's awesome when you do anything, anybody out there doing anything over and over and over, you're just gonna get better. And you're gonna always improve and find ways to improve. And so that's been cool for me because I've always drawn. I've been drawing since my first album. I drew As They Pass cover and Sideway Days and Gas Dream and Poltergeist. I drew all these covers until I
Huh.
just kind of stopped and I wanted to go a different route. And yeah, to now that I think about it, I haven't really drawn a cover of my own in a long time. I think we're getting towards a time of where it might be cool again to do that for sure.
That's sweet. Have you ever considered? Oh, so let me back up. But you guys recently, since you're not afraid to share some personal stuff, you guys recently moved to Colorado.
Hmm.
Have you thought about putting your art into like art fairs or like a Cherry Creek Arts Festival? Have you considered doing any of that to reach out to just real art?
Man, you know what? I have a friend, my buddy Sam, who works for Icelandic, which is a Colorado born and bred ski company, and they're known to like put dope art on their skis and stuff like that. But also Sam is very connected throughout Denver and throughout the city, and he's talked about introducing me to some people that know about these festivals and art walks and all these things ahead of time in order to get me in, or even the occasional big commission where there's a side of a building downtown and they want art on it, which would be so sick, bro. Because those are good chunks of change
Yeah,
to
yeah.
to be commissioned to do something, to be picked to do something like that. Even though I don't paint, I realize it doesn't matter. I draw something on my iPad and and I collab with a painter, the painter they do the job, they go paint, but it's
Mhm.
my work they're painting. And so that would be, I'm manifesting one of those to pop up. Because not only would it be so sick to have a piece of mind giant on a building,
Yeah.
but it's a great payday for the fam and everything, man. And so I'm looking forward to something like that. But no, I have not done anything like that out here yet, besides my own thing, which I do often, which
Mhm.
is putting together pop-ups. Where the last one I did in Denver was the first one. There, I've done two. The first one, I rented a space downtown. I set up sound. I set up an entire store full of merch, man, from like hoodies and hats and t-shirts and CDs and vinyl and rare like artifacts from back in the day, and a bunch of art. And and then I did like a beat set and I performed an instrumental set, did a couple raps, but mostly I wanted to play my beats because I also, that's been a part of my career as well, is producing the whole time. And honestly, if Josh, if you asked me if God came down from the clouds and said, you may keep one of the three things you love to do, pick one and the others must go, I'd be like, bye-bye rap, bye-bye drawing. I need to produce. That
Okay.
is my
Great.
number one meditative love on the planet. I fucking love producing. And so therefore, like scoring film is what I want to do next with my
Wow.
career. And I'm just fiending for it, bro. I've had an opportunity because of that gentleman, Sam, who I brought up. He connected me with a guy out here who makes a bunch of like snowboarding slash ski documentary action film type stuff. And he's a fan of my music as well. And he let me score this documentary, this 20-minute documentary, short, but I
Mhm.
did it from front to back, and first thing I've ever scored. Like someone finally let me do it, and I realized I got some of the flow working with the editor more than the director. I didn't realize I'm sending him songs for certain scenes, and he's like, little. I realized in this process that working with the editor, the kid that was editing the film, that's the dude that I needed to connect with. And we're talking about vibes for certain scenes and breaking it down scene by scene instead of looking at the overall thing. And it was really fun. Just got my whistle wet with it. But it's nothing like a feature film, a drama, nothing like that yet. But I'm
Yeah.
excited. I have this vision, bro, and it tantalizes me. I wrote it in a verse actually in a song that I see myself winning an Academy Award for Best Original Score before or without ever being even close to a Grammy, which is
Yeah.
hilarious to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's gonna happen. And not that the Academy Awards and Grammys mean shit on a deep level, but
Yeah.
it's just the acknowledgement, the nod, um, and the visibility, and more visibility and more chances to create and collab with people. And I'm a huge film fan, so I've always wanted to do it, and this is the time where I want to start getting my foot in there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think about like some of the greatest artists of all time, and they were Renaissance men, right? They weren't just painters, they were sculptors, and they got into as many arts as they could. And I think
Yep.
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great way to
dude.
spread it around, spread your talent around and get
Man.
out there and be seen. Yeah.
Whatever,
Um,
I just fully believe whatever sparks you, makes you feel excited, passionate, childlike, whatever brings out the kid in you, chase that shit down to the ends of the earth, because that is what is the realest of the real. Like, a lot of people, and this is where I feel so blessed. A lot of people have 9 to 5s and they're not passionate about that shit. They do it because they have to do it.
mhm.
And I have been absolutely freaking blessed to be able to create for a living. And once again, that comes back to the phone calls. That's why I'm willing to call people, because this means everything to me. And honestly, I could go get a 9 to 5 and create when I have time, but I would experience a semi soul death, bro. I
Yeah,
would be miserable, bro. Not only because I'm not getting to do what I want to do, but because knowing that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do.
sure.
This is a job, and it's the only job because this is what I'm meant to do, man. And so I get annoyed with people when, so and this is very rare, but I'll be on Instagram and I'll post something talking about, dang, I need to get this money together, I need to grind and sell this stuff or whatever, and somebody will tell me, get a fucking job, like that. Get a job like the rest of us.
Mm,
Just sour and just like
yeah.
angry. And I'm like, this is my job, you fuck. I'm like, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I don't
yeah,
say that part, but I want to say that. I'm like, this
true.
is my job, sir. Like, dude, there's no, and so I got to do anything and everything to maintain this. And that means taking care of the people that allow me to do it,
Yeah,
period.
I love that. I love it, dude. I mean, there's a lot of rappers out there that have real jobs and then they do this at night and on the weekends. And
Yeah.
man, I commend you. Yeah,
Thanks, brother.
super inspiring, and I'm happy for you.
Appreciate it, bro.
So moving to Colorado, was it everything you dreamed of, everything you imagined, or how has it been for you?
It's been cool. I mean, Colorado's awesome. It's beautiful. And, my wife and I have been in LA our whole lives. I lived in the Bay for 6 years, obviously, for a minute. Then I was back in LA, born and raised, lived there another 20 plus years. And then the cost of living is just getting so crazy out there. I'm like, dude, let's just go somewhere else. I'm sick of being here, sick of the smog, sick of the traffic. Still love going back. I'm going this Saturday to go shoot some videos and stuff, and I'll be happy to be there for a sec. But then I'll be like, okay, peace.
Yeah,
Um, Denver, I just feel like out here, I feel like I can breathe. I feel like there's more space between people. And to be perfectly honest, it's not like I'm obsessed, like, oh, I fucking love it here. And I'm also not like, oh, I don't have no complaints. So I'm like neutral, but I've met a lot of awesome people out here. And whenever I get into nature out here, I'm like, oh man, this place is awesome.
yeah,
Um, the only place that I've ever been obsessed and been like, oh my God, I never want to leave is Maui. That's where,
mm,
so like, and that's the opposite of where I am in a sense. It's, I'm in the mountains, not anywhere
sure.
near the beach, but the skies sometimes look HD like Maui out here.
Yeah,
Super blue, super crisp.
yeah,
So there's elements of that. But I do love it out here for sure.
nice. What's next for you, musically, artistically? Like, you're gonna go shoot some videos this weekend, but do you have any upcoming projects, full
Oh
length
yeah.
LPs, or what's
Yeah,
next?
I got a lot. I got a lot.
A lot.
And the videos that I'm shooting are for two different albums that are full lengths. One of them is 16 tracks, the other one's like 15 or 14. And they are produced by two different people. So I have a lot of albums produced by other people. And I know some people are like, come on, man, get to the album that you produce. And they just love when I make the beats for my
Mm,
own stuff. And I have that as well, but I have just so many other projects with other producers that are so different from each other. And I love working like that because different producers bring out different elements of me. It's still me, but it just drives a different hits from a different point with every one of them. And these two albums couldn't be more different production wise. One is called Blue Sky, and it's the production is more in the Alchemist slash, Griselda realm um, where there's no the drums are tucked in the back. They're like loops. There's like a
mm,
bunch of loops, right? Pretty dirty sounding. Sounds like 4 track almost. It's super dirty. I really love that album, man. It's so fucking good. I'm so excited. And then this other one is the opposite. It's more just banging as hell, like super soulful banging beats. Um, by my dude Phase One, and that album is very introspective. Both of them are. I can't write any other way. I write
mm.
about what I'm going through, write about my inner world, and this one it couldn't be more different than the other one. So those two, and then I have an album. We're about 13 songs in with this cat Dirt Monkey, who is a EDM producer, makes more it's not dubstep to me, but is very dubstep-ish, but it's very hip-hop-ish too. Hard as fuck. His beats are so hard, man.
Uh,
And I've gotten the pleasure of seeing him perform out here at Red Rocks. I did a song with him, and at another club out here. And the beat, you never heard shit so loud. It's so
that's
loud, bro.
awesome.
So
Uh,
fucking loud. But that album is crazy. Oh my God. And he grew up on me as well and reached out through Amp Live and went from one song on his album that he just dropped to an entire album together. So we got that. I got an album going with this dude, Chris Carnes, who is
yeah,
one of the best DJs on the planet.
uh,
And and it excuse me, part of the Pretty Lights family, DJs
mhm.
for Pretty Lights. We're 7 songs in. we're headed towards a 8. We're headed towards a full length, and he's a freaking genius, that dude, man.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I love Chris, and that's completely different than all the other ones.
Right.
And 2 albums with Grouch. So a G&E, which we are going to call Volume 3. You know, we've had a bunch of albums with all, titles that separated them, but we're going back to the Volume 1 and 2. That's where we left off, Volume 1 and 2. This is Volume 3. And I am going to draw the cover for this, just like I did with Volume 1 and 2. So my plan is like an abstract kind of out of the head kind of drawing like I did for that album cover. And the music really matches that vibe. It's really some slow and dark hip hop shit, and also not. It's both. It's mixed
Okay.
up. We always have dark and light and
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
mixed
For
up.
sure.
And then we have a G&E album produced by Amp Live, which we're about 7 songs into. So many different projects in it, and you know, it's really difficult for me sometimes when I have so many different things at different stages of completion. I get bummed out, like, God damn, this one is just sitting here and we haven't done shit in a while.
Yeah.
But when I listen to the music, I'm like, this music could come out in 10 years and still be brand new and still be dope, because it's just the way we create. The stuff we make has no expiration date in my mind. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, there's music with Grand Tapestry with my brother Alam Khan that is sitting there as well, that we're like really charged up about getting mixed now so we can get that music out. It's so much stuff, bro.
That's awesome.
It's
That's awesome.
nonstop.
I was going to ask about Grouch, because like that's where I fell in love with you. Honestly, your lyrics about struggle with sobriety and going to meetings, and I wasn't even sober in that time.
Yeah.
That was 20 years ago, and it was something I kind of knew was coming, and so it was like almost like pre-inspiration for me. It just took me 10 years to wrap my head around it after that.
Yeah.
So,
Right on, man. But you made it though.
yes, sir. Yeah, and now I got 3 days without weed, bro.
Hey, there you go, man. That's the
Getting
last
started
step
on
right
that,
there.
yeah. So
That's great, bro.
yeah, for sure.
Keep going.
Any words of wisdom? We're kind of wrapping up here, but any words of wisdom for the fans, or something you've gone through, or something you've learned lately that you kind of want to share with the world?
I would say that the main thing going on for me spiritually is I stepped into 2026 wanting to switch my baseline mindset from a negative one to a positive one. You would hear me talk, hear my music even, and think he's not a negative, he's a positive dude. But in my inner voice, that voice inside my head is always negative. I'm always worrying about shit. I'm in a fear a lot of the time. And I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it. And it's just like recovery. A moment to moment reset has to happen for me every day. I find myself getting dragged into a negative mind state, and I have to literally just push it back down to the heart space and get grateful and joyous again and stay present in the moment. And it's going to take a while for my baseline to be positive. And yeah, I'll get bursts of negativity and anger and anxiety and shit, but those will be bursts, and the positivity will be where I'm usually at, and instead of the reverse, which is what it's been my whole life. So I am personally trying to make a positive mental attitude my baseline, and we should all be easy with ourselves, knowing that these things take moment to moment practice in the beginning, just like when we got clean and we're like, man, you just it's a moment to moment thing. Surrender. So, and that's where you are again, probably with weed. It's just a moment to moment reset. And I would express that to anyone watching, and hopefully they would want to adapt the same mindset and know that some things start off as moment to moment, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I love that, dude. The attitude of gratitude, like it changes. Like, I mean, it's literally like seeing the glass half full versus seeing the glass half empty. And if you can like get into that mind state every minute of the day, starting right when you open your eyes, just, oh God, I'm so grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for, the challenges facing me today. And before you go to bed, just be grateful you made it through the day. And I don't know, that's great advice though. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you back, man.
I look forward to all the new music coming out, and look forward to seeing your art on a snowboard soon, and there's some skis, and blessings to you, my friend.
Blessed to see you, my dude.
Right on,
Peace,
man.
man.
Peace, bro. Take care.